Are you ready to get motivated and stay motivated to finish your book this year? We're going to talk about the 7-step map that takes you all the way through the creative writing process. And I didn't pull these steps out of the air. I didn't make them up myself. This is actually a 4,000 plus year system full of wisdom that can help you create and achieve anything that you really want to contribute to the world. So what I'm talking about here is the chakra system. These are the 7 energy centers in the body. They're kind of the organs of the soul that help you express what you're meant to express in this life. And so I want to go all the way through this process because if you've ever tried to contribute something creative to the world before, you'll notice that different stages of the process require different parts of you. And that's why I so deeply appreciate this very old set of wisdom and learning and writings, because they give you so much information on how to really achieve this process. So, if you may have heard of the chakras before, if you've ever taken a yoga class, usually we talk about the chakras in the sense of becoming more conscious or becoming more spiritual, which is wonderful. But what I want to talk about today is the creative path down the chakras. This is the manifesting path that starts at the crown chakra and goes down. So don't get lost. Don't be worried. I'm going to help you navigate this. We're going to talk about each of the 7 stages of the creative process. And we're also going to talk about the blocks that usually come up and how you can navigate through them, how you can keep going. So this can be your year. This can be your year to be successful. So starting with the crown chakra, this is your spiritual connection. This is where you get those divine downloads and the inspiration that really fuels the idea and sparks the book. And so often if we're blocked here, we start to think, who am I to write this? What am I going to do? What are people going to think? And we just start questioning before we really even gain any momentum. And so what I love to walk us through this is trust the crown, write it down. When you have an idea, just start writing it down. When the idea starts to blossom, write down more. Some ideas are going to gain a lot of momentum. Others might just float away. But if you can reward your crown chakra, reward your inspiration by simply writing it down, the process is going to move forward from there. Remember, whenever you think, who am I to write this? You're the only person who brings your inspiration matched with your life experience to the writing process. So once we've started to trust that crown, write it down, we go to the next stage, which is in the third eye. This is about your vision, your spiritual vision, your idea, your excitement around your book. So the third eye, Agnya, it has 2 sides. The 2 syllables of the word mean to perceive and to command. And then the symbol, it has 2 wings on each side, perceive and command. These are the 2 sides of the third chakra. And so perceive means believe, fantasize, get excited about what it means to be an author, what your life will be like. You can see it already when you finish this book. Start to build up the motivation around that. And then on the other side is the strategic planning side of the process. If you're writing a book, this is where we start to outline and really get the idea of what the steps are, what this will strategically look like in order to have the intelligence and planning in order to finish. Next, we go to the throat chakra, where you express your authentic voice. Now, I know when we try to express our authentic voice, a lot of times the inner critic, that other voice, pops up too. And so what I want you to remember about the inner critic is it's not creative. Your soul voice, your authentic voice is playful, experimental. If you open it up, you're going to start to reveal parts of yourself that are vulnerable, that are exciting, that are completely unique. The inner critic, on the other hand, It always says the same thing. Mine always says, it's never going to happen. It's never going to happen. Why are you doing this? It's never going to happen. So I decided to name my inner critic Never Never, because it always thinks anything that I try is never going to happen. And I always prove it wrong, but I can start to recognize it. This is a process of becoming more conscious when you can just name it and realize how it's always saying the same thing and it's not creative, then you can start to move past it, label it, and keep going forward. And we keep going forward to the heart chakra. So the heart chakra is about loving the creative process. The heart chakra represents intimate connections and committed love. And so we commit to our creative project by really making the habit of coming back to the page day after day. And what stops us usually from doing this is unrealistic expectations. So I'm a writing coach, and what I hear so often is, I didn't get as much done as I wanted to, which just means that you have your expectations here. And so you're always, let's face it, torturing yourself to meet the expectations, to live up to some idea you have in your head. That is not habit forming. It's the opposite of habit forming. It's going to burn you out and you won't be able to make that habitual progress. Instead, what you want to do is nurture the writing process as if it's your child. Keep coming back to it. Be proud. Notice the progress you're making and reward yourself for it. So this is all about a nurturing nature, that green heart chakra that is organic, that keeps rotating, that keeps coming back in a cyclic nature, and you just keep rolling forward. Love it up and you'll be able to keep going, which is going to bring us to the solar plexus. The solar plexus is the willpower, the follow through. So now we're finishing and editing the book. So Manipura, the solar plexus, that's the Sanskrit word, and it means city of gems. So I like to think this is where we polish the book. And so I want to talk a little bit about the difference between polishing and perfectionism. Perfectionism can get us into something of a vortex where it's never good enough, whereas polishing takes the personal out of it. Remember, when we're editing a book, we're trying to make it communicate what it needs to communicate to the world. And so it's not about you. The more objective you can be about, does this accomplish what I want to accomplish? Is this worth my time? Is it ready to ship? Am I going to be able to give this gift, this story that I want to give to the world? Manipura burns up the ego. And so what we want to do is don't make it personal. Make it about communicating. Polish up that gem so it communicates what it needs to communicate with the world. That's what we're on the fifth stage, because we're going down. So this is not the fifth chakra, but it's the fifth stage of the process. And we're moving on to the sacral chakra. In the downward manifesting path, the sacral chakra is about birthing. It's the sweetness of birthing that book into the world. The symbol of the sacral chakra is water. This is all about flexibility. Women wouldn't be able to birth babies if our bodies weren't made of water. And so this is where you're going to choose, in the case of writing a book, between self-publishing or traditional publishing. Either way, you're going to want to be flexible. You're going to want to give yourself time and be compassionate with yourself. So in traditional publishing, you don't have all of the control anymore. And so really be flexible, read the situation, move through this as gracefully as you can. Be patient and flexible. If you're choosing self-publishing, yes, you have more control, but there's also a lot of stuff you're doing in order to be successful with this. And so be sure to not put too much pressure on yourself. Don't be too rigid. Experiment with different ideas, different playful things, and you're sure to grow as an author. So the final chakra in this downward manifesting path is the root chakra. This is where we spread our story, we spread our message out into the world, reaching out like the roots of a tree and really doing that grassroots connecting in order to spread the word about our book. And so one thing I want to point out here is authentic connections. So often we want to think about marketing as an avalanche, just all of a sudden, here are all the people. And really, what I like to remind people is trust the snowball effect. So if you can make authentic connections with certain people in your audience, you're going to find out more information how to spread the word. You might be able to meet people who have podcasts. You might be able to meet and partner with other authors. So get into your genre, get into your niche, and really make authentic connections so you can start to move that snowball and partner forward so that you get your message out into the world. So that is just the quick run through, the quick navigation. And if you want more, this is a really fun and pleasurable way to get started. I created the Writing and Yoga Staycation. So the Writing and Yoga Staycation, it goes into every chakra. It gives you a yoga pose, a writing prompt, and a little bit of an explanation with an artist date. So it's something I created that's fun to do at home. If you don't have it already, you can download it in the link below. But this is just a fun way to really get a handle on the whole creative writing process. If you're deeper in, you want more information, I got an entire book. Look at all these pages full of information just for you. So this is the meaning method by myself, Emily Tamayo Maher. And so it takes you in detail, anything you want to know about traditional publishing, anything you want to know about self-publishing, anything you want to know about moving past the inner critic, getting into a flow state, all of the things you need to know to be successful at each stage of this process. And if you've already purchased my book and it served you, oh my goodness, I can't tell you how much I would appreciate if you left a review on Amazon. So I'm going to put that link down below so it's convenient for you. And thank you so much for getting to the end of this video. Every single Friday, I put out a new video to support you wherever you are on your writing process. So subscribe to this YouTube channel and the goodness is just going to keep on coming. Ciao for now. So much love.